morning. I'm Priyadarshini, working as assistant professor. Today I'm going to explain you about the various cloud services. The agenda for my lecture is I'll be explaining about the various cloud services, the cloud deployment model. I'll compare the cloud services with the traditional approach. I'll give you some sample examples and the recent trends in cloud computing. You can see the picture. It's basically about the construction environment, construction field. You can see the three different keywords here. SaaS stands for Software as a Service, PaaS, which stands for Platform as a Service, and IaaS, which stands for Infrastructure as a Service. These three are the very basic cloud services which are available right now. Let me look into all these services in detail. If you take a software as a service, it's like a ready-made software available for the customer. Depending on my needs, I can just subscribe for a particular cloud SaaS services and utilize it, and of course it is going to follow pay as you go model. The benefits which you get out of cloud services are it is always available. You need not even write a single line of code to utilize it. You need not purchase any software or configure it in your environment. It is all available like a ready-made throughout. You've all been a customer. I'm just going to utilize a service. Next, coming for a platform as a service, which is like for any software development, you need some essential elements to be available before you deploy your applications. Like for example, you need a platform, you need some sort of an API, softwares and packages to develop an application or a product. In a conventional way, I have to install, buy and configure all this in my environment, then go for a software development. Instead, you just assume all these are available as a part of a cloud services, which is called as a platform as a services. Being a developer, I know what are the requirements. I just subscribe for a services, which is a platform as a services, and develop my application and deploy it. Next, coming for the other services, which are quite common and used almost in most of the customers, like it gives you an infrastructure for your product development, like compute, storage, routers, network, so on. Establishing an environment or infrastructure from scratch has a lot of constraints and limitations, like you need to focus on the place, the data center development, the servers, maintenance, software cost, installation, and so on. Instead of this, assume any of this infrastructure as a service is going to offer all this for you, and you're just going to utilize or customize and use it whatever is required for you. These are the very basic services available, and you still have a lot more services in the market. That's why cloud is always called as an X as a service. This X stands for everything as a service, like we have load balance as a service, database as a service, identity as a service, and lot more services are available in the market right now. Moving on to the cloud deployment model, we have four types or variations of deployment model. They are public cloud, private cloud, community cloud, and the hybrid cloud. First, coming for the public cloud, which are quite popular and used by many of the customers, where it is available for all the users. Take up an account, register it, and then it's all yours. You can just keep exploring based on your needs. Next one is about the private cloud. These are the set of services that are confined within an organization. Like the employees and the employer alone can make use of these services, and it cannot be accessed by any other public, provided they are given some credentials. Next one is about the community cloud, where you assume 2 or 3 organizations want to collaborate on some topic of interest or research. Then they can subscribe or utilize the community cloud. The last one is a hybrid cloud. This hybrid cloud is like a combination of a public and a private cloud, and it has an advantage and the highlights of both the public and private cloud setups. This is a very recent type of deployment that is getting popular in almost in all the sectors of the domain. And moving on to the comparison with the traditional approach with the cloud services. In the left, you can see the traditional IT services is all about you need to develop infrastructure with all the items or the components, starting from your networking, storage, servers, database, application, and so on. Suppose if you consider the infrastructure as a service, the vendor will take care of the networking, storage, and the compute environment and setup. And being a customer of the user, all I need to do is take care of the database, create an application, and configure it, and even the servers which I need for it. Coming for a platform as a service, every kind of a platform, setup, runtime environment, everything is taken care by the vendor. Being a user, I'm just bothered about my own applications and the logics for it. And the next one, the software as a service, where I need not create, develop, or any of the functionalities. All I do is some softwares are available as a service, as a SaaS services. I just make use of it, utilize it, and pay only for what I've consumed. Let us compare cloud services as a pizza as a service, and the link I've just highlighted, the LinkedIn page, you can even refer to that. Where first coming for the traditional approach, suppose if I want to have a pizza, I want to make it. So I need to take care of all the items which is given in this list. Make sure all these are available, then go for a preparation. Then I have to take care of the systematic procedure or the steps. How do I prepare a pizza? Next one, going for infrastructure as a service. You can see the certain items that are highlighted as a blue and certain items which are highlighted as a green. The vendor is going to take care of all your toppings, the tomato sauce, or the pizza done, and I'm being a user is going to manage only or configure the timing related for oven or what type of an oven. I'm just going to decide only all these things. Moving for a platform as a service, you can see the list of things, items that is highlighted in the green, where everything is going to be managed by the vendor. I'm just going to make or utilize or have a pizza, like pizza is already delivered, right? And here the software as a service, right? So every aspect of it is going to be prepared or taken care and delivered by the service provider itself, right? All I'm going to use it, I'm just going to taste the pizza and just check how we are made is going to be. Moving on to the recent trends, you can observe like 95% of the users are already moved to the cloud. And this is according to the RightScale 2016 cloud report, where you can see the percentage of a public cloud users, like it's 18%, 6% are already utilizing the private cloud, and you can see the larger contributions over the recent years for the hybrid cloud, which are a part of private and a public together. You can see the hybrid cloud is picking up in the recent years. Thank you for listening to my lecture.